All right, here we go. Guys, the quiz tomorrow. Everybody, quiz tomorrow. You will get, listen to me, stop talking please, a 4-function calculator from me that I purchased at the dollar store. Some are pink, some are blue. All you need to do is use it to multiply. It does not have an exponent button on it. It does not have a negative. So you need to understand the difference with -2 to the third power versus -2 to the fourth power. Which one's going to give you a negative answer? This one's going to give you a negative. This one's going to give you a positive. Why is this one a positive? Because it's raised to an even, right? We need to know that. If you raise a negative anything, whether it be a number or a variable, if you raise it to an odd power, it's going to stay negative. All right, you're going to have 5 questions total. 5 total questions, all for your response. There's going to be 2 like this. There will not be, I worked every single thing out last night, all the versions. There is nothing that the calculator won't do, a 4-function calculator. I will show you how to do this with your combination and permutation buttons in your calculator next week, so you can do it on the test. But right now I need you guys to understand how to do this on your own. So you'll have a question, say like number 1. This is what I need to see for number 1. I need you guys to write down, okay, I have 18 factorial over 18 minus 5 factorial times 5 factorial, correct? And then what else I need to see is I need to see your simplification. 18 factorial over 13 factorial, 5 factorial. Everybody with me? Then we go one step further. We have 18 times 17 times 16 times 15 times 14 times 13 what? Factorial. Why can I stop there? Because you have one on the bottom. Now, guys, do I still have 5 factorial left on the bottom? Yes, I still have 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Now, I would not try to put all of this in your calculator at one time. I would cross off here, and then I would simplify. Simplify where you can. 2 goes into what on the top? Goes into 18, goes into 16, goes into 14. Doesn't matter where you simplify, but you need to simplify. So 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 14 7 times. 3 goes into 15, yeah? How many times? Okay, 4 goes into what? 16, how many times? 4, and then 5 goes into 5. So what do you have left over? 18 times 17 times 4 times 7. I suggest, once you simplify, you circle what you have left over. Why is that a good idea? So you don't miss anything. So what's 18 times 17 times 4 times 7? What is it? 8,000. How much? 8,568. Okay, that's it. That's you showing me your work. All right, you have 5 questions, guys. 2 are like this. So you have one like this, and then you have one maybe that's written up and down. Same thing. What goes on top? 11 factorial over 11 minus 4 factorial times 4 factorial. Okay, so 11 factorial over 7 factorial, 4 factorial. Okay, so then you have 11 times 10 times 9 times 8 times 7. Can I stop at 7? Yep. And I still have 4, 3, and 2 on the bottom. Do I have to write the 1? No. Make sure you see this is a 3. So my 7 factorials cancel. 2 goes into 8. How many times? 4. 3 goes into 9. How many times? 3. And 4 goes into 4. How many times? Once. So I have 11 times 10 times 3, which is what? How much? 330? That's it. Everybody okay with that? I know this one, when you did it, your calculator told you too big, something like that, right? Some of you, that's okay. You're not going to have one like that tomorrow. Your little 4-function calculator is going to just work just fine, I promise. All right, so you have 2 of those. Then you have 3 where it says expand using Pascal. Somebody asked me last period, can I just FOIL it? If you want to FOIL, write the parenthesis out, however many times. multiply, combine like terms to check, you're more than welcome to. But the quiz is expanding using Pascal's, which means you have to use a triangle. You are not getting the triangle. Don't write it on your arm or your ID or something like that. Don't go into the fourth quarter of senior year with a quiz grade of a 0. Okay? The triangle is not hard. I don't know if you guys realize this. I did this on the video, but I don't know if you realize how to build the triangle. I'm gonna do number 5, just because it kind of incorporates everything all in one. It has 2 terms, it's got coefficients, it's got 2 variables, whatever. But this is all you have to remember. Watch, 1, 2, 1. This is the second row. Now you can build the rest of the triangle based on that. If I'm going to build the third row, what goes on the outsides of each row? 1s, okay? So I'm going to put a 1 and a 1. You guys with me? Now we add. What's 1 plus 2? 3. What's 2 plus 1? 3. There's the third row. So now let's build the fourth row. What goes on the outsides? So 1 and 1. And now add. What's 1 plus 3? 4. 3 plus 3 is 6. And 3 plus 1 is 4. Now we're going to build which row? The fifth row. What goes on the outsides? 1s, okay. 1 plus 4 is 4 plus 6 is 6 plus 4 is 4 plus 1 is. Y'all see that? Did you guys realize that? Let's build the seventh row. What color am I going to pick? All right, let's do the sixth. How about that? Okay, 1's on the outside, right? 1 plus 5 is 6. 5 and 10 is 10 and 10 is 10 and 5 is 5 and 1 is perfect. And then the last row. 7. So 1's on the outsides. 1 and 6 is 7. 6 and 15, 21. 15 and 20, 35. 35. 21. 7. So now you just built Pascal and his silly little triangle by literally knowing 1, 2, 1. As soon as you get your quiz, I would do that. Another thing I'm going to caution you on, all right? Boys, I'm going to pick on you. If we are expanding, we're going to do this one. X squared plus, what is it, 2y to the third? To the fifth power. What does that mean? It means x squared plus 2y cubed times x squared plus 2y cubed times x squared, right? All of it. So the first thing we do is identify the row, correct? So what row are we talking about? The fifth row. How do you know it's the fifth row? It's raised to the fifth power. Boys, please don't do this. All right, you are not getting any sort of prize for writing the least amount of work or using the smallest amount of space. Write out enough, because there's not a lot of side work you guys have to do. If you guys actually do this correctly, watch, you write the row. 1, 5, 10, 10, 5, 1. Everybody agree? I'm going to do the whole problem in that little white space that we have left there. That's all you need, because what's the process? What do we write down first? The first term. So you just write down the first term underneath every single number. I always put in parentheses because that helps us, especially when we have negative exponents, when we have negative terms, or when we have exponents raised to another power. Then you write down the next term, which is what? 2y cubed. So 2y cubed. 2y cubed. You guys can do a lot of stuff within here to help you get your answer right. What should the signs be throughout your whole answer? All positive. How come? Because you're starting off with a positive. If there's a minus sign in the middle, what are the signs going to do in your answer? They alternate. Positive, negative, negative, positive, whatever. But just pay attention to stuff like that, guys. So now we write our exponents, correct? We start, our first term starts with the biggest exponent. So it goes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. What's anything to the 0 power? 1. Your next row starts in the opposite direction, or you can start down here with 5, however you want to do it. But it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If you want to check, you should start, your first term starts with the highest exponent, and your second term ends with the highest exponent. You guys see that? And now just do a little bit of math before you start multiplying. You're going to raise a power to a power. When you raise a power to a power, what do you do to the exponents? You multiply. So this becomes x to the what? I would write x to the 10th and then cross this out so you don't have to look at it anymore. So then what's the next one become? X to the 8th, good. Then x to the 6th, good. Then x to the 4th, and then you have what? X squared. I'd write it. Don't just leave it there because you might forget it. Now I'm going to do the same thing with my 2y cubes. This is 2y cubed, right? This 2 goes to the 2 and to the y. So this becomes 4y, what? To the 6th. This goes to the 2 and to the y. So this becomes 8y to the what? 9th, good. This goes to the 2 and to the y. So this becomes 16y to the 12th. And this goes to the 2 and to the y, which becomes 32y to the what? 15th. Now, we really haven't had to do much thinking, guys. We have everything set up how we have to. Now, I'm going to stress to you, try to stay as organized as possible. You need to make sure that you circle or you identify, you see everything you're multiplying together. All the numbers need to be multiplied together. Sometimes we forget that top row. So it's 1 times 1, which is what? 1, and we stick the variable on, so x to the 10th. So now I have 5 times 2, which is what? So plus 10, what? X to the 8th, y to the 3rd, or cubed. Does it matter what order? Not really, but if you want to be super correct, you want to go in alphabetical order. X comes before y. It just looks better. So again, multiply the numbers. 10 times 4 is what? So 40, and then you have x to the 6th, y to the 6th. Now you have 10 times 8, which becomes 80. Stick the letters on. X to the 4th, y to the 9th. Then you have 5 times 16, 80 again. Stick the letters on. X squared, y to the what? 12th. Then you have 1 times 32. So plus 32, y to the what? 15th. And there you go. If you were to write out the binomial x squared plus 2y cubed 5 times, and then draw your arrows and combine like terms and blah, 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 that would be the answer that you get. This is a lot cleaner. It's a lot easier. You're going to have 3 of these, guys. I'm not answering any questions tomorrow. Yes, you might have a number like 16,340. You're going to have a little calculator, but you will not have a number that does not work in the calculator. I didn't do anything that is astronomically huge. But when you're dealing with powers and stuff like that, you know, the numbers get big in a hurry. But that's it. I mean, it's a very, very, very basic, straightforward quiz. I promise. You'll have the whole class period because I don't want you guys to rush. But you do have to know how to build the triangle. If you don't, then yeah, you're not going to do well. Correct. Questions? That's it. I promise. I promise.
It's so short.
It's